And we're going to bring out our first fighter. He's joining us from Lewiston, Illinois. Please welcome Brad Stanton.
I'm Brad Stanton. I'm from Lewistown, Illinois. Just regular old country boy. I don't do much. Just work out every once in a while. Do a lot of hikes through the woods, fishing, hunting. Anything to keep my mind occupied. And well, I've been picked on a lot whenever I was younger, and I finally got fed up with it. And I started fighting back, and now nobody messes with me. I pretty much keep to myself, try to, and when somebody comes after me, I don't back down. Don't really have any at all. It just, I'm ready to get it done and over with. It ain't really all, it's all in your mind. You know, I was told on short notice, so I was kind of wasn't able to do a lot of training. I won't back down. I will go down with a fight. So, time to tell.
Here we are, the main event of Caged Aggression's sixth return. Fighting out of Lewiston, Illinois, Brad Stanton with a record of 2-2.
Gonna be cool to see this fight. I didn't really like his video that they just showed. It seems like he's saying that things got a little tough for him when he was younger, but he was able to use that as motivation to get into this ring and turn, a negative situation into what's obviously a positive if he's headlining this event.
Right. When you're fighting for a main event in the main event, and you've got some things that you've been harboring since you were a child, that's had that chance to boil up, and you release it out here, and you really were gonna see that he's in the main event for a reason.
And his opponents joining us from right here in Knoxville, Illinois. Please welcome David Harris.
You guys know me, I'm Suga Bunz, baby! I fight because I like to do it. It motivates me to be the best. Keeps me out of trouble. Keeps me in shape. Keeps me positive. I just try to think of crazy shit that has happened in my life and take it out on that person's face, body, as fast as possible. I try to get the first open window and seal the deal, get the victory. I don't really know much about my opponent, so all I can say is you better catch a good one on me, because I don't think you have what it takes to become an ECR champion. I just want to go in there and get it, son!
Making his way into the cage in the main event of the evening tonight, David Suga Bunz Harris out of Central Illinois Combat Club in Knoxville, Illinois, bringing to the cage a 10-0 record.
This guy is obviously a tough boy. First of all, the name is Suga Bunz.
Right.
He comes out to this song. This isn't, I wouldn't necessarily think that this is something that, would get me gassed up. But obviously, he is unbelievably confident in his ability, and his record shows that too, 10-0.
Right, and this is where we were talking about earlier, the balance between a fighter and whatever they do in their other spare time. This guy is a comedian, and obviously he's got the fans love here. Every time he fights in Knoxville, where he's from, you can't even hear each other speak, which is going to happen to us pretty soon here. It's going to get very loud very quickly, and I hope that his opponent knows that he's got, almost 90% of the people here rooting for him.
Oh yeah, it has to be pretty cool to be able to do exactly whatever you want. You can play a song like this, but 10-0 speaks for itself. He can come out here to whoever, anything.
Right.
But that record shows that he's a tough dude and he knows exactly what he's doing once he steps into that cage.
And David Harris will be a perfect example of that switch we've been talking about all night, where it's all fun and games right now. Let's hear from the boys coming out. Suga Bunz's nickname, and as soon as he gets in that cage and the door is locked, it's on. it's a different mindset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening and is scheduled for 3 rounds. Introducing first, fighting at the red corner. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing in at 155 pounds. He's sponsored by Body Lock. Joining us from Lewiston, Illinois, Brad Stanton! That was opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighing in at 156 pounds. He trains with the Central Illinois Combat Club, TYAC Boxing, and Blue Line Fighting System. He's sponsored by River Bottom Tree Service, Kagan Construction, CII Embroidery, Extreme Paint Rentals, Shandy's Music, Boondocks Bar and Grill, Cornerstone Construction, Cage Depression, Diamonds Bar, and Mobile Audio Video. Joining us from Knoxville, Illinois, he's the current ECR lightweight champion, David Suga
Jeremy Anderson, your referee of Cage Aggression 6 main event. Brad Stanton in the black and red trunks. Lightweight champion David Harris in the all black trunks. Champion belt on the line.
Going to be interesting again to see. Everybody seems to be behind David Harris, and Stanton definitely has an uphill battle to gain some approval from this crowd at the very least.
Right, round 1, here we go. David Harris goes in for the big takedown early and gets caught in the guillotine. Looking to push the leg down a little bit and get out, but caught in a pretty deep guillotine right now from Stanton.
Very deep. I would suspect somebody that's, 10-0. They've been in a lot of fights, so they've probably been in this position before.
Right.
So.
The knees from the bottom, which you don't see very often in that body. Oh, about ready to tap. Hand twitching the tap right there, as we can see from our angle. Wow, it's got him in very deep. Smart Harris right there to hit the knees. Got to do something. Caught walking around, getting side control, looking at the elbow. And right now, Stanton's arms got to be getting tired a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can honestly tell that Harris is listening to his corner, who's telling him different things to do, like putting that knee on top of the body.
And Brad Stanton's arms locked tight right there. You can see his hands locked very tight. Looking to tap out the champion right now in the first round. But Harris doing a great job of keeping his composure and working through this. Arms got to be getting tired as Brad Stanton's had this in for now for almost a minute and a half.
Oh yeah. And you're putting constant pressure. It's not like you're easing up at all during this point in time.
No. Right now, David Harris has got advice from all angles coming from his coaches and friends and family here. Really needs to dig down deep and finally gets out. Gets out and takes the back of the stand. Make sure not looking for the rear naked choke or at least do some sort of damage right now at the top position. You don't want to waste that position.
Stanton is trying to protect himself in case he starts getting some of those headshots.
Good job right now. David Harris opens up a little bit. Watch the back of the head shots. A warning from referee Jeremy Anderson.
And the amazing part about those, like we're right next to the ring, and you can hear those shots to the head.
Right, you can hear the thuds. 4-ounce gloves aren't very, you know, not much padding to them, so you definitely can feel 4-ounce gloves. Right now, looking to flatten him out a little bit,
stretching him out.
Side control back to Higgins' back, and looking to do some damage and sink in the rear naked choke maybe. Flattening him out right now. Need to do something more. Both fighters working though. 10-second warning. And it's
a lot of inside punches thrown right now.
Locks in the rear naked choke and
saved by the bell.
Barely gets out of the round as Brad Stanton. Definitely saved by the bell. Both fighters look like they need this minute to get the composure.
Definitely. And one of the cool things that you could hear right then, right at the very end, you can hear his corner telling him to hang on. And then they were telling him that, you know, you only got a few seconds left. So if you can hang on, they're going to have to break the choke, and you'll be able to stand up and get ready for the next round.
Exactly. And what, you know, and what we almost saw was another tap out at the very end of the first round in the last second. So what both fighters need to do right now is gain the composure a little bit, go back in the second round, and both fighters really need to land some shots because there weren't very many shots landed in the first round.
Right, there's a lot of submission attempts, and I mean, that doesn't mean that those aren't good, but, you know, I think the crowd definitely wants to see a little bit more stand up, a little bit more fighting, a few more shots.
Definitely, when you're getting the judges on your side, they want to see these shots as well. So both fighters need to open up a little more, and I think we're going to see that too. The feel-out round is over, and we're moving into the second round. The main event here at Knoxville, Cage Aggression 6. Here's where you can feel it in the crowd that they were just waiting for that first big shot to kind of get them out of their seats.
And also, you're waiting to see who's going to take the aggressive route in this round.
Kicks from Harris, like he's chopping out through.
Big high kick.
Big high kick from Stanton, and you know, if those land, they're knockout kicks, but you leave yourself so open when you do that. And he's lucky he didn't get taken down midair. Looks for the sweep. Davis Harris looks for the sweep, doesn't get it, and now looking for the double leg takedown. Gets a side flip instead.
Yep.
Still gets punched for the takedown.
Oh yeah.
And right now just pushing his head down in the mat, and needs to throw a few knees right now and keep active. You know, if you're not moving like this, the referee will stand you up in a stalemate like we're seeing right now. As long as you're working the position, you still need to throw a few punches here and there.
Yeah, it sort of looks like, you know, both guys are sort of locked up at the moment.
Right.
Nobody's really taking too much advantage of the situation at the moment.
That's also the thing with MMA, you know, any small opening, as we saw earlier tonight, can end the fight quickly. Both fighters almost back to their feet.
Stanton on top now, which is a position that he hasn't been in too often during the fight.
Let's see what he's kind of got in that position. Both fighters doing a very good job of distracting, keeping hands in the face, hands under the nose, impeding the breathing. And right now is where you don't, if you're David Harris, want to be directly on your back and you want to swivel to one hip or another, and you know, you don't want to be flat on your back like that.
I'm also guessing that Harris is probably taking a little bit of a breather right now too.
Right. And that's what he says, sneak in the breather, but don't get flat on your back. You want to be on a hip, and right now he's doing a very good job of staying on his hip. Looking for maybe a triangle or armbar, as we're seeing. Can't quite get his foot over the head, but very close. Got the arm locked though, and doesn't quite get him. Brad stands out. Back to their feet, very tired, both of them you can see. Good sign of respect right there, touching gloves and back to the middle of the cage. Either fighter really needs to do something big to end this round and take the round. Both fighters are showing a lot of respect right now to each other and really need to open up and land something big. David Harris probably going to look for a kick right now, throw a kick to end the round.
Especially trying to steal the round, you know?
Very surprising that both fighters aren't at least trying to throw something in the last 10 seconds of a title fight, only being 3 rounds.
You know what? Part of me thinks that the reason that they might not have thrown something right there is that, you know, this is a title fight. You want to be cautious. You don't want to put everything on the line at the very end, the very tail end of the round, and leave yourself wide open to something and then end up losing the title fight because of that.
Right. So, you know, basically what we were hoping to see in the 3rd round is all the exact opposite of the second as far as really putting yourself out there and throwing everything you've got left and really getting this crowd off their feet and finishing the night off strong and finishing it for yourself strong.
Exactly, and this fight is up for grabs. You know, somebody can really take advantage right here. Don't leave it in the judges' hands. Don't have them decide your fate. Take your fate into your own hands and win this fight.
And we've seen David Harris fight before. He really gets going. So I imagine the crowd's going to be behind him right here. And hopefully they really get themselves going and stand behind him. And hometown fighter David Harris in the 3rd round against Brad Stanton for the lightweight championship. Extreme Cage Reynolds, Cage Aggression 6, 3rd and final round. David Harris throwing those kicks, and those kicks have been effective for him. So throwing again, they really got some heat behind them. So you might as well go with what works and really chop that tree down, so to say.
You took the words right out of my mouth because it looks like he's going low, you know, trying to weaken that lower body so that he can get an advantage.
Right, and then, you know, as far as kicks land and kicks thrown, he's, you know, almost at 100% of the shots landed to the kick. So do what works for you always in a fight, but definitely want to see them open up a little bit more and throw some of that caution to the wind. And really, you know, you got to throw some punches, and both of them, I think, need to get hit a little bit to open up too. So somebody's got to make that move and be the aggressor.
And you know, you think because of the lack of action that somebody could just really take advantage of that and say, hey, I'm going to win right now.
Brad Stanton threw a little flare right there, landed a couple. Looks like got David Harris fired up a little bit, throwing some of his own. Here we go with a little bit of exchange.
Both guys look like they're willing to stand up and trade a little bit.
David Harris looks like got a little more serious right there, wanting to keep his belt in Knoxville, keep it around his waist. And we're going, you know, it's midway in the 3rd round, and really we want to see both fighters open up, kicks landing again. It looks like he kicked his toes right there, but still landing and being effective, you know, getting some points on the judges' card.
A fight like this for a judge has to be really tough because, you know, neither guy seems to be willing to be overly aggressive. You know, both guys are cautious. Not saying that that's a bad strategy at all, but, you know, I just would not feel comfortable leaving that into the judge's hands.
You know, in a title fight, like you said, you are playing it safe, but at the last minute, you've really got to go and show why you're the champion, and you got to show that you really want that belt. And right now, Brad Stanton needs to really turn it up if he wants to take that belt away from Harris. You know, they really got to, you know, the respect's over. You know, it's time to fight. And
you know, it's kind of interesting. Maybe both guys are gonna go at it a little bit at the very end.
Right. And David Harris opens up, but lands a huge shot. Big shot from David Harris.
And it looks like the fight has been stopped. And see, now when you see something like that happen, you kind of wonder why Harris didn't take that advantage to do that on his own.
Right. And that was a very odd ending, I have to say, to a fight for the championship. David Harris goes to 11-0 and retains his belt. Big power shots that you wonder why we didn't see earlier. We've said before, we've seen him. He's powerful. You wonder why, you know, that was a great ending. Landed a huge shot.
And you have to feel bad if you're Stanton because you kind of look at this as an opportunity lost, you know?
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Jeremy Anderson, calls stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 26 seconds in the round 3, declaring your winner by TKO, David Suga Bunz.
points are 11-0.
11-0. There you have it, JD. The final fight for Kaiser Gresson 6. 4-time in Knoxville. 12 fights. You couldn't ask for a better matchup tonight. And we saw some submissions, knockouts, some things we didn't expect to see, and another great night in Knoxville.
Yeah, very entertaining. I mean, when Mike Goodwin put this card together, he knew the type of fights that Knoxville wanted to see, and he was able to deliver that tonight.
Yes, and absolutely, in the crowd, you hear them all night, and once again, big shout out to Mind Print Productions, Mike Goodwin, all the family at ECR. Thank you very much for having me out tonight, Mike Goodwin. American Hybrid, see you guys soon with my boy JD.
Yes, www.thejumpoffpodcast.com. You can catch me there every week along with me and all my crew, man. Check us out, give us a listen.
Thanks for coming out, see you guys soon.